So when I lose a client, I have a process to go through, and I want to take you through it because if you've been in real estate enough, you will know that you will lose clients. Let me rephrase that. You're going to lose potential clients because they're not your clients, right? It's somebody you're trying to go after, whether it's a buyer and they didn't end up choosing you, or it's a seller that you were trying to list their property and you just didn't get it. And if you haven't lost a listing opportunity yet, I can tell you you're not trying hard enough. That's just the answer. Now let's get right into this. This is what I call the lost client review process. I have here turning losses into future wins. When you go through this, the idea is to see where you have an opportunity for next time so you do a better job and what you could have done better that you can improve on quickly. There will be things that you can improve on immediately. Like when I was doing this earlier on, I realized that some things I didn't have the capabilities to do it because I didn't have staff and I didn't have enough money to invest in certain things, right? But there are things you can learn along the way. There are 5 steps to this. And let's start with number 1. Here we go. This episode is brought to you by brillianttribe.com. If you haven't checked it out already, please do. We've got group coaching. We've got one-on-one. We've got community building. We've got lead gen. We do a lot. That's because my team is awesome. So check us out there. Step number 1, after you lose a potential client, I want you to pause and reflect. If you need this, message me on Instagram. I'll send it over to you. Pause and reflect. This has to be done within 24 hours. Why? Because your brain gets a little hazy, you get busy, and you're like, let's go do something else. Forget about them, right? Stay professional and don't take it personally. Easier said than done, but I wrote it out anyway, okay? I take things personally sometimes, but then I get over it. Losing a client isn't failure. It's feedback, right? I love that one. I have that highlighted and italicized. Instead of reacting emotionally, view it as a learning opportunity. This takes time. Write down the facts. Who was the client, buyer or seller? Where were they in the process? Is it an initial consultation, listing appointment, under contract? Is it a stale listing, right? Where? Tell me. And who did they choose instead and why? Typically, you won't know quickly within 24 hours, usually, but you will know, right? And so that's going to give you an opportunity to identify the reason why. But still on step number 1, acknowledge any emotions, then move forward. It's going to hurt. And I want you to understand that that's okay. It's part of the process. Of course it hurts. You're not a robot. We all share feelings. It hurts. Acknowledge any emotions and move forward. If you feel frustrated, take a moment, reframe the experience, and see what you can learn from it. That's how it all started for me. It started based on one client that it actually, I didn't lose the client. This is the crazy thing. I'm trying to remember back and I found it. I didn't lose the client. It was a deal from hell. And it was on a small house out here in Moore Park. I believe it was Moore Park, California. It was a client that I got from online. The husband was a police officer and the wife was working for the school district. And anytime something would get emotional on their side, where they thought they were getting screwed, he was more calm, but she would then elevate everything and start yelling. And I thought, damn. And it was one of my first deals as I was getting into being a better agent. Anyway, it closed. I got yelled at many times, especially at the closing table. And it was nuts. And I thought, man, number 1, how can I identify these people sooner? And number 2, what could I have done better? Right? And that's where it started. So for me, it started on the closing. But anyway, you are going to lose clients. That's number 1. Number 2, step 2, identify the reason within 48 hours, if possible. I mean, within 24 hours, within 48 hours, loosely, right? Here it is. Reach out and ask for feedback if it's appropriate. Okay. Example: I completely respect your decision, Joanne, but I always strive to improve. If you don't mind sharing, was there anything I could have done differently to better serve you? You could do that. You could do a style of that. The idea is just to get feedback so that you can improve, really improve, not so you can get pissed off at whoever got the listing. Telling you from experience. Some clients may not respond, but I put here, but even one honest answer can provide valuable insight. That is true. Review any communication breakdowns. Did you respond to them quickly enough? I know that was that has been a reason in the past where I lost a listing. I was busy with another client. Did they feel heard and understood? I've also I've been in business for 21 years. I've had these. That is also a reason I've lost people. Was there a moment when they seemed hesitant or unsure? Right. And now compare to competitors. If you find out who compared to competitors, find out who they went with. And if they went with somebody else, did they choose another agent and why? What did that agent offer that you didn't? Was it a lower commission? That's something that you may not do, right? Is it better marketing, stronger rapport, right, in the community? I know when I call expireds, and I'm calling in Malibu, and it's an expired of one specific agent, they usually say, I'm just going to relist with that agent. And I say, oh, interesting. Why is that, right? And they tell me, and I'm like, that's awesome. Like, I want to be that listing agent where people call my expired and they say, hey, when I relist, I'm just using the same agent. Anyway, step number 2, there's more to it. Ask me, I'll send this over to you. Step number 3, analyze and adjust within 3 days. Now I put a time limit here, days, hours, so that you have a time frame when this needs to get done, right? Look for patterns. Have you lost multiple clients for the same reason? If you have, that needs to change. Pricing disagreements, slow follow-up, not demonstrating enough value. What is it? If you lost a listing, was your presentation compelling enough? Did you clearly differentiate yourself? It all comes down to differentiation, right? Jeff Bezos says that. Look, the most important thing in any business is differentiation. What makes you different? Make it loud. It has to be part of your presentation. Next, if you lost a buyer, did you set the right expectations and provide enough guidance? Did you? Did you not? Identify 1 or 2 key takeaways. For example, I need to refine my listing presentation to better explain my value. Or I should follow up with leads faster and more consistently. This is what you need to identify from what you just went through. What's the one thing you're going to learn from this? And then decide, what's the specific improvement look like? What actions am I going to take? What actions can I take today so that I can change, even if it's a little bit, tomorrow? And there's a little bit more to that one too. Step number 4, implement and improve. This is ongoing, obviously. Make the necessary adjustments. Improve your scripts, presentations, follow-up process, or market knowledge. Role play difficult conversations if you know you sucked. Like when I went on my very first luxury listing presentation, it was a little over $4 million. I was a year into the business, and the question was, why are we going to pay you $125,000 in commission? And I said, because that's the commission. That was not the response they were looking for. In fact, if I would have done a better job with the presentation, that question probably wouldn't have been asked. But you live and learn, right? So obviously I went back and I role played that and I got better. It took me years for that one. If it's technology or response time was the issue, set up automation, set up reminders. What are you doing? Especially now with your iPhone, where you can set a timer to remind yourself to text people back. Right? Say, hey, I'll call you back. I set a little reminder on my text, and I have it set maybe 5 minutes before I'm supposed to call them with a simple text that says, is this still a good time to call you? The automatic text goes out. And then I see it pop up on my end, right? That's how easy it is. Here, set a reminder to check in 3 to 6 months later with a friendly, salesy message if you lost this seller, right? If you didn't get the listing and it's no longer listed, just so that you understand what you could have done better. My script is pretty easy. I hope the sale of your purchase of your home went smoothly. Hey, Joanne, I hope the sale went great. I said, I'm calling our database and people I worked with just to improve our vendor list. Do you have 45 seconds? And they usually say, yeah, awesome. Has there been anyone you used lately that was outstanding that we should add to our list? And then they think, and then sometimes they give me one, sometimes they don't. Okay, great. Well, once I'm done updating it, I'll send it over to you. Thanks, Joy. I appreciate you. That's it. Value driven. And you're following up with them because I hope the sale of your purchase, of the purchase of your home, of the sale of your home went smoothly. They're going to say, yes, it did. No, it didn't. I didn't sell. I didn't buy. It gives you that opportunity to learn a little bit more, right? Because we're always trying to get better. And step number 5, last one, move forward and stay motivated. This is probably the toughest one because as I'm telling you, the failures I have, it wasn't easy moving forward at the time. And sometimes when I drive by a certain area, this is the crazy part. Sometimes when I drive by a certain area, I remember helping a certain client. I remember how I felt. And if I'm not careful, it can bring me down because some were really tough. Some are big failures that I had. And so moving forward, again, is a little bit easier said than done. But this is also why I love doing this because it also motivates me and says, these are opportunities for me to be able to grow and do better. Here's what I wrote. Remember, every agent loses clients. Everyone does. Everyone. If you haven't lost clients, trust me, you will. And you're not doing enough business if you haven't. Guaranteed. And in this number 5 still, even top agents don't win 100% of their listings. The key is to learn, adjust, keep improving, right? What does Tony Robbins say? CANI, a consistent, never-ending improvement. Track your progress. Track your wins, track your losses. Keep it simple. Lost client log to track trends over time. See how many clients you did lose and indicate why. You could have a simple Excel sheet or simple Google Doc. Hey, but I lost in 2024. As you're accruing this, I lost 5 clients. Here's why I lost them. Which one have I improved better on? Reasons for losing, right? Keep it simple, right? If you notice repeated reasons for losing clients, then, like I said earlier, that's the one you've got to attack. Anyway, make sure that you're celebrating the wins. When you get one, celebrate it, even if it's internal. I don't do big celebrations. I do internal celebrations. I'm like, yeah, I did it, right? And it feels good. So just dwell on that. This is the Lost Client Review process. Please use it, expand on it. If you need it, message me. I'll send this over to you.